Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome everybody, it's Chris back with yet another fragrance review. And today's location has been very carefully chosen by me in order to totally and utterly reflect the fragrance that we're going to be taking a closer look today. A fragrance by the house of Rammstein, the German band, yes. And this fragrance has been released this year, 2021, and it's called Seemann, Fisherman, Seemann, and it's from the Rammstein Kokain series. It has several fragrances, and this one is called Seemann, Fisherman. Again, it comes in this wonderful presentation. And there you have the fragrance itself. And again, the location today totally and utterly reflects what this fragrance by Rammstein is all about. And I start with a very straightforward statement. To me, this fragrance is the best ever interpretation of the sea, of shipyard, of the docks, and obviously of fishermen, you know. Why? First of all, Alexandre Ilian is the parfumeur, the nose behind this fragrance. And again, it has been just released this summer as a fresh member of the Rammstein Kokain series, okay? That's why it's called Seemann. But as you know, with Rammstein, they really went for something extremely special and yes, weird. Weird, why? Because this smells like this. Exactly like this. It smells of fish. It smells of the dockyard or shipyard. It smells of heavy seaweed, of sea salt and sand. In the most genuine way that I have ever come across. So this is why, this is my statement, that this is the best sea themed fragrance ever. That does not mean that this is the most appealing one, because again, it has its weirdness. It has notes that I have mentioned of fish and algae and heavy seaweed and sea salt and sea water with some musk and a very nice backbone of absinthe. It gives it a slight sharp greenish booziness, okay? Fishermen like their drinks, and so do I. And so this all comes together in a, what I would describe, a typical fisherman shipyard smell. Extremely authentic. Now we know, they say, and I've experienced this in my time in the days when I was living in Dublin, that a harbor, a dockyard, a shipyard has a very particular smell because, you know, the fishermen are bringing in their catch. It's being processed in the harbor many times, okay, or it's still, you know, all the gadgets that the fishermen use are still on the ship. You can see it. You can see how they haul in the fresh catch, and this is exactly how it smells. The fish aspect here is very sharp and very fresh. It's not a rotten fish, okay? It's freshly caught fish. This smells like a fisherman, a rugged fisherman out at sea catching fish or even crab, but more fish, I would say, because crab has a different smell altogether. So I would stick to fish. It smells of a fisherman, a rugged fisherman who probably had a few shots of absinthe and then hauling in his catch of the day of fresh fish herring or whatever you want, you know, and then putting it onto the wooden ship floor in order to then store it or bring it straight to the harbor. Okay, this is how this smells. You can see I'm not a fisherman, so I'm struggling to find the right words to describe exactly the process of what a fisherman does, okay? But I'm a great fan of the Deadliest Catch series on Discovery Channel. I've been following it since the 2005 season. And this smells like that, you know? It smells like, well, again, those guys mostly caught crab, but again, this has this rugged fisherman, fish, wooden vessel, ship feeling, smell, mood and vibe about it. It's totally unprecedented. I've never smelled anything as perfect as this, representing the name absolutely 100% perfect. So Alexandre Ilian, I applaud you for this, and Rammstein for bringing out something that is not necessarily mass appealing, you know, that is not everybody's darling. That's not a sea or ocean themed fragrance that has coconut, lime and all that shit in it. This is a rugged, genuine shipyard, ocean, fisherman smell, okay? And one more thing, the presentation is perfect. I showed you the box there, okay? The bottle equally, everything is perfect about it. The color totally represents what this fragrance is all about. And also I have to tell you, the performance is, this is an eau de toilette, okay? But this performance of this fragrance, projection, sillage and longevity are absolutely outstanding. So much so that I've worn this, and I mostly wear fragrances underneath the shirt in order to, you know, kind of feed off my body chemistry and body heat. And I wore this with a shirt, then washed the shirt, and the next day after the shirt has dried, I smelled the shirt, and I kid you not, I shit you not, it still smelled of this fish, algae, seaweed, slightly woody, slightly boozy smell. A true and utter perfection. So much so that, in my opinion, this is the best release of 2021, and definitely the best sea-themed fragrance I have ever come across, and I have smelled a lot. Trust me on that, okay? So it has become one of my signature fragrances, definitely. I love the sea, and I love mostly everything about it, and therefore it is, again, it has become one of my favorite fragrances, and the price versus quality ratio is absolutely perfect. You can get this for €30, which is like 35-40 bucks. It's unfucking believable, okay? So Rammstein Kokain SEEMANN, an utter masterpiece without exaggerating. Man, this is just perfect. Honestly, it is absolutely perfectly smelling of this scenario that you see. I actually don't need to say anything, because this smells like the scenery behind me, okay? So that's all there is to it. Can't get enough. One more thing, interestingly, despite all its weirdness, it has such a genuine character and an unusual character that I got in the first 3 days I wore this. And again, I shit you not, I got 3 compliments, including my wife, okay, who rather goes for more easygoing fragrances, because this in the end has a heavy fish smell. It does have a heavy fish smell, but she grew up at a seaside location in Malmö in Sweden, where she's familiar with this smell. She knows what this smell is all about, you know. So she complimented it as extremely genuine, and other 2 people said, wow, you know, this is a great smell. Actually, it smells very good, and it smells special, and it smells like nothing out there. So non plus ultra, really. non plus ultra. So let's go back to the sea. And let's see what we haul in as the fresh catch of the day. But before I do, I'd rather take this on board. Thanks very much, everybody. This was Chris from Sandland with Rammstein Kokain SEEMANN, the perfect sea-themed fish fragrance. Fisherman. Fisherman at its very best. Thank you very much. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.